and doing well.
Walaikum salam, doctor.
So today the objective of our class is to continue that we are talking about the annuities. So here today we see that what is the future value of the annuity. So if you remember in the last class, so we have seen that what is the annuity? Annuity is a sequence of finite payments that we do for a fixed period of time. And then we have seen that what is the present value. A is equal to r is the fixed amount, and 1 minus 1 plus r to the power minus n over r, sorry. And then we can write this in a new notation. So a n angle r, and then the amount will be equal to r into that a n angle r. And then we have seen that there is a table uh, in the appendix from where we can find these values of a and angle r. And now we will see that in today's lecture what is this s and angle r, so means the future value. So there is also a table in the appendix. You can see the values with respect to the n. There are certain values given. Okay, so let us focus. So the future value of an annuity is the sum of the future values of all n payments. So what it means that what we pay, if we sum all these values, this will be the sum of the future value. So we denote this as by S. So in the beginning we have R, and then we have R1 plus small r and so on. And if we sum up with the mathematical formula, then we come up that this formula will be of this type. We don't want to go into the detail at how this formula has been established, but the idea is the following, that we have the in the beginning we have the r amount, then we sum the rest of the amounts, means it will be r into 1 plus r and so on, and there will be n to the power n minus 1, but the total term will be n because it is in the beginning. Then it is 1 2 3 4 n minus 1 n minus 1 plus this one, so it will be total n periods. Okay, so this is the formula for the future value, where we have given a fixed amount r in the beginning and we have n periods. So similarly in the last lecture we can write this part which is here into a sum notation. So we called it like s n angle r, and we call that this is this factor. So therefore the formula for the s will become this capital R, and into that s angle r, means the approximate value will become this one. And these values, the approximate values of this, are given in appendix 1 as we have discussed in the last lecture. So similarly, if we say that this r is capital R is 1, so what the formula becomes, this capital S will become small s n angle r, like we have here. But it is not necessary that this capital R is $1. So whatever is the capital R fixed amount that we pay after every period, we will put this and we will get the answer. Okay, so let us see here in example number 1. So he says that find the future value. So he asks us to find the future value. So it means that we have to find this S. Okay, this was the first thing. And consisting of the payment of $50 at the end of every 3 months. So it means that this payment, or I would say payment, is given. So what this means, the fixed payment is $50, okay, at the end of every 3 months for 3 years at the rate of 6% compound. So the rate here, so the rate is 6% compound quarterly, and we have 3 years. And so what will be the N here and R? So what this means, so here, so N will be, so 3 years. So in 1 year we have 4 quarters, so N will be 12. And what will be R? 6%, 0.06. So since it is given annually, and in this 1 year we have 4 quarters, so what will be this? 0.065. Agree? Now we just plug these values in this formula 4 and we will get the answer. Okay, so let's see. Okay, here is, you can say thus this S will be, so you can say S is equal to R into this S, what was, sorry, N angle R. So what is R here? 50. Agree? So all the information that I told you is written here, so don't make a mess. So we will try to simplify. So we have given R is 50, this, sorry, capital R is 50, N is 12, and we just plug the values here, 50 R. So this value, when you calculate in the table, it is 13 point, this multiplied by the 50, so approximate value is 652.06. Clear? Any problem?
Clear. So,
And now there is another part. It says
Doctor,
also find the compound interest. Yes, I'm listening.
from where we get 4?
Quarterly, and you see he say quarterly. That is why we get from here. N is 4. Okay. In 1 year, how many quarters we have? 4. Clear now?
Yes, it's clear.
Okay, now there is another thing. Instead of the find the future value of an annuity, so there is another thing he asks, also find the compound interest. So how to find this one? Let me do another color. He asks find also the compound interest. So the compound interest will be equal to what we have, the total sum now, and what we expect in 12 periods. So you see here, so we have sum is 652.06 and then minus. So in one quarter we have a $50 payment. Okay, and we see that in 3 years we have 12 quarters. So if in one quarter we pay $50, so in 3 years we will pay 12 into 50. But anyhow, we have seen that the sum after 3 years means with the annuity was 652, but in principle it was 50 into 12. So what will be the difference it will be the extra that you have paid. Agree? Any question? Everything is clear, I hope.
Yes, doctor, it's clear.
Okay, so let us focus on the other example. So here he says that at the beginning of each quarter, $50 is deposited into a saving account. So we have deposited $50, okay, and that pays 6% compounded quarterly. So at the rate of 6% compound quarterly. So the question is this: find the balance in the account at the end of 3 years. Now we have to be very careful. So if you make a table like this, so you see in the beginning, so in the beginning we have $50, okay, and he asks us saving account at the end of 3 years. So this is like a 3 year. So in 3 year, how many quarters we have? 12. So this is like quarters. Or you can say periods, whatever you want to say. So now he asks us find the balance in the account at the end of 3 years. Now what we calculate here, if we use the formula of the sum, so what was the amount? Future sum was R into S n angle R. This was the sum, okay. But here he asks us to find the balance, means the future value of annuity due. In principle, he asks us to find this value. Now, how to compute it? So, if we see that in the beginning we have a $50, but after 12 years, how many sum we will have according to this formula? R into Sn. But we have already paid $50 in the beginning. But this formula says, this formula what is written here, it says when we pay the amount after one period. But here he say at the beginning of each quarter we have paid. So it means that what we are interested here, we have paid one extra amount. So we have to subtract that amount which is given in the beginning. And if we simplify this one, you will see the formula will become S angle R minus 1. This is due to the fact that we want to use this annuity due thing. And now we just simply put the information and given in the given formula you will get the answer. And what is the information? What is the R? Definitely it is 50, no problem, 50. And what is the S? We have to find. What is the N? So N is again the same thing. What is N here?
12.
Yes. but but here we have to be careful. But now we have to be used n plus 1 here, because when we use this due thing, we have n plus 1 period. Because you see, if you count this 1 2 3, it is 12, but there is another bit 0 now. So n plus 1, so n is equal to 12. So this one implies that n plus 1 will be 13. So that is why he says we have 13 periods. Before, so before the sum was this one, but for, you can say, annuity due, we have one more period now. Annuity due, the sum will becomes this, and this was the simple annuity. Okay, so now here n plus 1 will be 13, and what is the R? R says 6% compound quarterly. So 6% means 0.06 divided by 12, and it will be n minus 1. Now we have to see the table, or you want to calculate the value. When you see the table, you will see that the value is 14.236830 minus 1, and when you compute it, so it will be approximately equal to 661.84. So now this means that the balance means after 13 periods, but after 12 years, oh sorry, 3 years, and the amount due is 661.84. So this is the difference between the annuity due and simple annuity, or you can say the ordinary annuity. Any question? Okay, if there is no question, then we move forward. So there is also a very interesting thing. We call it like a sinking fund. So like you say, sinking fund means it is sinking, like in sea, what is meant by sinking. So a sinking fund is a fund, but anyhow he has given us the definition. A sinking fund is a fund into which periodic payments are made in order to satisfy a future obligation. So if there is some obligation, means there is something that we have to fulfill, that we need to put some fund to fix it. Okay, so for example, you know that if you have a machine, if you have like any machine, it has some life, and after some period of time, is after some years, that machine try to need some what you say repair thing. Because if you get any new machine, after certain period of time, we have to get its repair, or it means that the machine, whatever, if you have a car, if you have a transport, if you have a truck, if you have anything, it will depreciate with respect to the time. So if the current value of the new machine is like $7,000, So after a few years, definitely its value will depreciate, or we say that uh, we need something um, to also maintain that one, so something like this. Okay, so now we come back to this question. Suppose a machine costing $7,000 is to be replaced at the end of 8 years. So it means that if we have a machine somewhere working, so it means that its life is 8 years, and after 8 years we have to replace that machine to 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 do whatever what we are doing. So suppose a machine costing 7,000 is to be replaced at the end of each 8 years, at which time it will have a salvage value of 7 at which time it will have a salvage value 7,000 sorry $700. So it means that for every year, you can say like this, it will have a salvage value, means it will depreciate like $700. So what is meant by the salvage value? Since you are the students of economics, you can tell me better.
The value that you intend to sell the machine
Mhm. So
for after when you want to replace it.
yes, so it means that you will fix some amount so that you can, when you get rid of that machine, you have this amount. Okay, so in order to provide money at the end, at that time for the new machine costing the same amount, a sinking fund is set up. So we want that when after 8 years we want to get rid or we want to replace that one, we have some fund, and we call that fund as the sinking. Okay, the amount the amount in the fund at the end of 8 years is to be the difference between the replacement cost and the salvation value. So, so it means that the amount after 8 years will be this machine cost minus salvage value. Okay. If equal payments are replaced in fund at the end of each quarter, so and the fund earns 8% compound quarterly. So now we are talking about this fund. So now the value is not 7,000. Now the value is 6,300. And now we're talking about the things on this value. Okay, if equal payments are placed in the fund at end of each quarter, and the fund means this fund earns 8% compound quarterly, what should each payment be? So we are interested in finding the each payment, not the sum. So it means that we want to see what is the R. Agree? So what we have given again, n is what? 8 years. But here we are talking about compound quarterly. So 8 years in 8 quarter. Again we have 4 quarter. So n will be 32 periods. And we have given also what is R. R is 8%. Again 8% means 0.08. In 8 years there will be 32 periods. Oh sorry, quarter is 4. Annually it will be 0.02. Now you put in this formula. So what is the sum? Means future value. S is equal to R into S and N R. So you just plug these values. So what you will get here? So from here you are actually interested in finding what is R. So what is S given here? The value after subtraction. And what is S? S is 32. And what is R? 0.02. You calculate this value from the table and you will come up that the final answer is 142.45. So what is the conclusion? That $142.45 you have to make for each period as an annuity. Got the point?
Yes.
Doctor, is like I have to save 142 in each quarter to
Yes.
substitute the damage.
No,
Like
no. Yes, each quarter. Very good. Yes. Okay, any question? I think everything is very much clear now. I'm just trying to highlight the important things. What should each payment be? So means we are interested in finding what is R. Okay, if this is clear, then I ask you to have a look another question and try to understand and let me know what is the solution. So here we have a rental firm estimates that if purchase a machine will yield an annual net return of $1,000 for 6 years. Okay, so he says that a machine will yield an annual net return of 1,000 for 6 years, after which the machine would be worthless. Okay, how much should the firm pay for a machine if it wants to earn 7% annually on the investment? So he wants 7% on this machine annually and also set up a sinking fund to replace the purchase price. So this is the question. How much should firm pay for a machine? So we say that let X be the amount that the firm will pay for the purchase. And now there is 2-3 things very interesting. He says that if he wants to earn 7% annually on investment, so he wants to earn 7% annually on this machine. So but so here what will be the return on the investment. So if we want to pay 7% annually and the price is X unit, so what will be 7% of X? 0.07 into X. Okay. So now the machine gives a return of 1000. So we have 1000 a year return. So what is the amount left after this investment? So it will be 1000 minus 0.07. So this is the amount that is left. So what is then what was the what would return for this 6 year? So we are interested that now the thing is this will be the R S, you can say N or is equal to the purchase price. So if you want to say like S, you can say this is the S. But here what is the purchase price in the beginning is not now R. This is like 1000 minus this amount, because a rental firm estimate you want a annual return 1000 and he earned 7% annually investment. We have to subtract this value from the 7%, and then this S formula is very clear because we have 6 years with the 5% compound annually thing. Since it is annually, so no need to divide by any number. And when you simplify, you will get that price will be 4607. So if you have the calculators, I ask you to please do this now. Okay, and let's see if you got this point or not. Since it looks different, so there is another way, and you can see the other way if you like, that each year we have 1000 amount, and for the return of this 0.07, and also payment of this over this, and we can make another equation if you like of this way. So it is up to you which equation you like. Okay, and if you solve this, I think this is the end of the lecture, and I stop the recording, and you can do this exercise 5.4 because we have spent almost 2 lectures due to your, you can say, the exams. I'm not teaching much now.